welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Masego, and in this video we will be going through how to use fare handouts for travel services in 4 and in 5. If you find this video helpful, please give it a huge thumbs up, click the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and share to help a fellow tourism student. Please note, this video is based on the TVET syllabus for students studying towards a national certificate in tourism. Notes, textbooks, slides, and previous question papers that can help you with these modules can be found on futuremanagers.com, which will be linked down in the description box. Today, we look at how to read your fare handouts. So the first handout that we are going to be looking at for this session is for British Airways. Then we are going to look at the South African Airways handout as well. But one thing that I can tell you about handouts is that once you understand the codes that are used in travel services, you will be able to read the fare handouts and you will be able to decode the information quite easily. So for example, when we look at here, we have the British Airways fares. The first row here, we are shown, or it indicates the route that these flights are going to be traveling on. So this first box here is Johannesburg to Cape Town, and then the first bigger box as well is Johannesburg to Durban. So this line over here in the middle kind of shows you a barricade between the information that is designated for Johannesburg to Cape Town and the information that is designated for Johannesburg to Durban. Then each of these big boxes here, the main boxes, is divided into 3 categories, and this is only done for British Airways fares. So you will treat these fares a little bit differently, because with the other airlines like SAA and Central Airlines, the fares are given only in the adult seat. So you don't have the fare for the adult and infant. You have to manually calculate it, and we will get to that at a later stage. But this one for British Airways, it's already done for you. Even the VAT is already calculated for you. But we are not going to focus on this VAT because we are going to charge VAT at the full fare after we've charged for all the sectors. So then, even under the adult, child, and infant, it is further categorized into one-way flight and return. So you will see it is Johannesburg to Cape Town, adult, one-way, or return. That brings us now to our 4th row, where it starts with C. So in this 4th row that starts with C, this one indicates the class of travel. Each row indicates the class of travel. So you have C, you have Y, you have B, you have H, K, and V. Each one represents a class of travel. And for you to kind of have a good understanding of what is the difference between the classes of travel, you will have to go into the next page, which is our rules, where they will tell you what class has what offerings. Like for example, you have how you must apply, which tickets you must apply each of the classes to, so forth. We will come back to this ticket to these rules so that we can understand them properly. But each class will be then governed by the rules on the next page, and will advise you on how to treat that fare. So then you have now your fares in the boxes that now go under each category in each class. So for example, you have Johannesburg to Cape Town, adult one way at class C, sitting comfortably at 1,900 rand for an adult one way, and then 3,800 return. So then for the child, it's already pre-calculated for you. So everything else from this point on then becomes pretty much repetitive. It's just a matter of knowing how to read the content, how to decode it. This is now for Johannesburg, Durban. It uses the exact same rules. You are going to need to find out where this person is going. This person is going Johannesburg, Durban. What age group do they fall under? It is an infant. Okay, is this infant going to be going Johannesburg, Durban, or are they going to be coming back? Are they going one way? Are they looking for a one-way ticket, or are they going to be returning? And also, what class of travel are they going to be looking for? So if they are now saying, okay, we want economy is usually Y, so you will have to then say, okay, Y, class Y here, so one economy one way, so it's going to be class Y, and then economy one way. You're going to charge them 90 rand for that flight. If they say book a flight for Johannesburg to Cape Town for a child, then you will look in this section: Johannesburg, Cape Town, a child, in which class of travel, and then how much am I going to be charging for that person. Now, as I had stated previously, that these these tickets are based on rules, right? So the rules that we focus on at the N4 level are these ones: child and infant. So your child and infant rules here are the ones that we look at, and usually it says the child will then pay 67% of the adult fare, and then the infant will pay 10% of the adult fare, and it says so for all of these classes. It doesn't matter which class it is, right? So that is the most important rule for N4 level. However, when we get to N5 level, we start getting introduced to other rules like application. So application will say you can only apply this to one-way tickets, or you can only apply this class to return tickets. Your rules governing your change in reservations. So in what period of time, between which time and which time, can this person buy and change their mind on the purchase, can return the ticket? Minimum stay and maximum stay, advanced purchases, ticketing, endorsements, cancellations and refunds. All of those rules will then fall. You will then be based on the class of travel. So when you see the class of travel and you are given that route, and you see the class of travel and the carrier, you need to come to that carrier, go to that carrier's rule extract, and see if your client does qualify to use this fare. The same thing applies for South African Airways. These are now the South African Airway fares. The South African Airway fares include pretty much the same information. The only difference is the layout that they used. So if we take a closer look at sorry, if we take a closer look at South African Airways, you will see that on this part it says from. So the first column has information for each city you are able to depart from. Then the second column says to, so it lists all the cities that now you can go to from each city. So when they say please look for a flight departing Cape Town to Johannesburg, you will come here and go from Cape Town to Johannesburg. Cape Town, Johannesburg, there it is. And then you then look on this rows to see which class. So these rows these columns at the top here written, these represent classes of travel. So you have your from, to, and then you have which classes of travel you are going to be using. So if you are Cape Town, departing from Cape Town to Johannesburg using economy class is Y, you're going to be charging the person 1,390. Now, with the South African Airways fares, like I stated before, they don't calculate for you the fares for infant and child, so you will have to calculate it for yourself. But before you make that choice to calculate the fares, you now have to then go and consult your rules for SAA. Now, when you look at your rules for South African Airways, they are also structured similar to how they structured their fare handouts. You have your class in the first row, represented in the first row, class J, class Y, class K. The fare basis for it, the fare basis is the code that you use for this class. In N5 level, we start to explore more on the concept of fare basis, especially when we get to point to point fares. But for N4 level, we are only going to be using one letter fare basis. Then you have your application. They will tell you what kind of fares you can apply to this class, and then you then have again your rules pertaining to the children and infant discounts, going all the way that side. That say the child is 67 will pay 67% of the fare, and then of the adult fare, and then your infant will pay 10% of the adult fee. So this then advises you then that okay, indeed you are allowed to apply these rules to your ticket. Then like I stated before, even for N5, you are going to now have to look at issues such as minimum stay, maximum stay, advance purchase, and other rules that you will then have to answer questions regarding. But for N4, you don't have to read through all of this information because it is not applicable to you. Then you have your airport taxes. Your airport taxes will always be charged under your fare after you charge your VAT and stuff like that. We are going to be basically looking at the airport taxes that fall under this bracket here. So you will be charging the first tax that you will be charging will be charges for departures from specific cities. So you come here and you look how much do you charge for departure from each city. I'm just gonna quickly erase all of these notes. So If you are departing from Johannesburg, you are going to be charging 52 Rand. If you are departing from Cape Town, you check how much you are going to be charging for tax. It's 46 Rand, and so on and so forth, depending on which city you are going to be departing from. So when you see your route, you check, okay, how many places am I departing from? Now you will say if you have a return trip from Johannesburg to Cape Town, return trip, it's going your route is going to be Johannesburg, Cape Town, Cape Town, Johannesburg, which means you have two departures, and therefore you need to charge taxes for those two departures. This tax is called PSC, and you for PSC we use the code ZA. For VAT we use the code ZV. Then we have EV. EV is airport tax, and it's charged at 6 Rand per departure from South African airports. So for N4, these are the only taxes that we are going to be looking at. Then you're also going to charge now the tax for each airline, which we're going to look at on the next page. But before we leave here, for N5 students, we now have to look at the rest of the table. You have now your international flights. If you are going on international or regional flights, your PSC now is focused in this region, so you have to choose between the two. And what will then advise you on which one to take is to look at the notes. This section here is your notes. So your notes will tell you exempt PSC if you are charging for your infants. So for infants, you don't charge PSC. And then another note here is that regional flights to South Africa or from South Africa include flights from South Africa to Botswana, Lesotho, Namibia, and Swaziland. Those countries fall under the regional flights, and therefore when you charge the PSC, you're only going to charge 100 Rand. But anything else that is not these countries that are listed will then fall under international flights. This now is when you are leaving South Africa going to a different country, which we only see in N5 point-to-point phase. So in that case, then we are going to be charging this PSC for international flights. And then also then you will then come and charge your war risk tax for regional and international flights, and those are the three taxes that you will charge in South Africa. And then you can then, depending on which country you are traveling to, you then come to each country listed here to check which taxes that they charge and how much those taxes should be charged. The airline tax that I had said that I had spoken about, here we only have the airline tax for British Airways and for SAA, and the codes used for these is the tax code is YQ and YR. This tax is payable per flight, per passenger, no exemptions. So for British Airways it's 133 for per flight per passenger, and then for SAA it's 140 per flight per passenger. You also have a third airline, Central Airways, which also uses it also uses YR. Central Airlines uses YR as well. So if you go into your textbook, you can check how much Central Airlines is. This brings us to the end of this session. Please do feel free to share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell to get notified every time I post. Till the next session, guys. Bye.